Well, Sunday is National Cancer Survivors Day, which is an incredible time to shine a spotlight on those who go from diagnosis to survivorship. So joining us today is Keri Cotterman, a stage 2 breast cancer survivor. And Keri, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I am, as you mentioned, a stage 2 breast cancer survivor. This is not a club I ever expected to be in, but I have to say the survivorship club is an amazing group of mostly women that I've met. I'm a tech CEO. When I was diagnosed with cancer, my questions were largely around how to be bald in a boardroom, which I decided to tackle with a photo shoot and a head tattoo.
Oh my goodness, I love it. I'm going to ask you a little bit about that in just a moment. But first I wanted to ask you, you went through chemo during the pandemic, and reading your story, that was kind of something you looked forward to in a way. Tell me about that strength with that.
Yes. So I love fashion. I find a lot of strength and power through that. And so, as you mentioned, I was going through chemo during the height of COVID, and chemo was the only place that I got to go every week. So I totally dressed up for it. I refused to wear sweatpants. I wore heels. I looked every bit of ridiculousness every week that I went in there, and I owned it and I loved it. And it actually made it kind of fun.
Which is an amazing way to go through such a tough time. I think something that stands out to me is you said that you didn't want to just survive cancer, you wanted to dominate it and own it. Tell us a little bit about that approach.
Yes. So, I mean, I was sitting on my couch one day thinking about cancer and kind of reflecting on everything that I was going to be going through, especially with chemo. And it dawned on me that chemo and cancer, they're the ultimate bully, right? They kind of like lay dormant in your body and take over. And then all of a sudden, bam, they're there. And I just felt like the only way to take on a bully is to take it on. And so that kind of gladiator mentality is what got me through the juggernaut of the bully that is cancer.
And kind of led you to that tattoo on your head. That's so awesome that you did that.
Yes. So I knew I was going to be bald, and I knew that I didn't want to be talking about cancer. I was an interesting person doing interesting things before that happened. And so I thought, what better way to pivot the conversation away from cancer and onto something else and be able to say, hey, look, I got my own eyes tattooed on the back of my head. So the entire time I was walking around Mr. Clean Bald with my own eyes on the back of my head, which was empowering. It made people laugh. It made people feel better about my situation, which was also something that oddly was very important to me.
Absolutely. Incredible way, and encouraging for people going through it as well to kind of have that approach and be strong through it out. It's really tough for everyone. So thank you so much for sharing your story with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate having you on.
Absolutely. And of course, you can see all of our health